Hello everyone, welcome to Watch English 1, Unit 9. I'm Michelle 郭晓晴。大家好，欢迎收看英文一第9讲的课程。The guest speaker for this unit is again Dr. Barry Reynolds. 欢迎第9讲的特别来宾雷贝利博士。Hello Barry.
Hi everyone. It's nice to be here again and see you all again.
In Units 7 and 8, we have talked about the geographical places. In Unit 9, we're actually going to talk about imaginary places in stories. Barry, did you like to read storybooks when you were a child?
Oh, actually, I loved to read as a child, and I can even remember like during kindergarten, although that I couldn't really read at that time, but they would give us a nap time, time to take a nap. But I would just steal a book and go to a corner in the classroom, and I would spend that nap time trying to read. However, as I got older, I enjoyed reading a lot of magazines about video games actually.
雷贝利博士呢说，他小的时候呢就非常喜欢阅读，常常在中午休息的时间呢会偷偷跑到阅读角落 reading corner 去找书来读。那比较年纪再增长一点呢，就喜欢看一些有关于电玩的杂志。So I believe you play video games well.
Before, yeah, I was really into them. Yeah.
Now, with all the stories that you have read, what was your favorite story? Do you remember?
Well, I don't know if I really had a particular favorite story, but I do remember that reading a book as a child, a book of fairy tales. And that was actually a book that my grandmother gave me. It was actually one of her school books, and she passed it down to me, and then I still have it somewhere. I have it put away, but I just remember the first story in the book was the Three Little Pigs. Yeah, and so that kind of sticks with me. What's your favorite story?
I like Three Little Pigs too. However, as a girl, I also liked Cinderella.
Yeah, a lot of little girls like Cinderella, this story.
Right, Cinderella turning into a princess. 那雷贝利博士呢，刚刚有提到，他很重要呢，他印象非常深刻的呢，是他奶奶读过的书，然后传承给他。那故事里面呢，其实一个很重大的意义就是一个传承。那 stories are often read from one generation to another, and we're going to read about it. Now, let's take a look at the main text in this unit, and then we'll talk about the important vocabulary and phrases. Barry, would you please read the first paragraph for our viewers?
Okay, sure. I'd love to do that. Once upon a time, before civilizations developed written languages, people recorded events through an oral medium of storytelling. Storytelling is an old tradition that allows ideas to pass down from one generation to the next. In ancient times, there was no pen or paper to keep a record. Ideas and traditions were preserved by word of mouth. Stories allow people to describe events and to share experiences with others. They also inform children of their history and customs, about goodness and evil, about duties and reward and punishment. After the printing technology was developed, people began to have access to books, but the ancient oral tradition still remains.
Now, let's take a look at these sentences in the first paragraph. 我们看第一段里面的句子。首先呢 ，once upon a time 非常熟悉的一个片语哦，很久很久以前。那我们中文讲都会说哦，古时候或者是很久以前。英文呢，我们会说 once upon a time， 很多故事都是这样开始的哦。Before civilizations developed written languages, people recorded events through an oral medium of storytelling. 在许久以前，人类文明还没有发展文字的时候呢，人类是透过说故事的方式呢，把事件来记录下来的。那civilization 是文明的意思 ，written language 呢是指的是文字语言的文字。 那如果我们讲口语的文字呢，口语的语言呢，我们会说 spoken language 或者是 oral language。Record 是动词，那它的名词是 record， 记录的意思。那名词呢，当然也有是记录或者是有唱片的意思。那 event 指的是事件，就或是活动。Medium 是媒介的意思，它的复数呢是 media。那也许同学有听过 mass media， 也就是所谓的大众传播。For example, a newspaper is a kind of medium. TV is another kind of medium. Newspapers, books, magazines, TV, radios are different forms of mass media. Barry, talking about mass media, what would you say is the most popular media after the year of 2000?
Well, I would have to say that after the year of 2000, it would have to be the internet, and specifically, it would have to be social media. For better or worse, nowadays, if there's some news that happens, it's spread very fast through social media. More often than other media outlets.
Yes, of course. 那以往大众传播，大家第一会想到报章、杂志、电视，但是现在呢，在2000年以后呢，其实最热门的一个媒体呢，是所谓的social media， 是网络还有社群网站。那刚刚雷博士有讲，很多的讯息事件的传递，常常在网络很快就会传播开来。好，我们来看下一个句子。Storytelling is an old tradition that allows ideas to pass down from one generation to the next. 那说故事呢，是把想法一代一代相传，这种世代的传递，我们可以说 pass down from one generation to another generation to the next generation. Pass down 是指传下去、往下传的意思。介系词呢？From 什么 to 什么，就是由哪里到哪里。那 from one generation to the next generation，意思就是由一个世代传到另外一个世代。下一句 ，In ancient times, there was no pen or paper to keep a record. Ideas and traditions were preserved by word of mouth. 在古时候呢，古代的时期，因为没有纸跟笔，所以用来可以来记录。那我们做记录，我们可以说 keep a record。好，那其他的 preserved 保存，就是但是这些想法 ideas and traditions， 我们很多的思想、想法、习俗要怎么样传递呢？是经由口耳相传，也就是 word of mouth。mouth 是嘴巴，所以就是由口来传递。由口来传递文字就是口耳相传的意思。那 in ancient time 当然是古时候。那为什么这个 times 呢会加 s？ 是指古代以前的时候不同阶段的时期所以这个 in ancient times 这个 times 会有加 s 的情形。好，我们来看下一句。在这边呢。Stories allow people to describe events, to share experiences with others. 那故事呢，让人们有机会可以去描述事件，可以去分享经验。Describe 是描述的意思，那 events 刚刚有讲过是事件，那 share experience 是分享经验。接下来 they're also informed。They also inform the children of their history and customs, about goodness and evil, about duties and reward and punishment. 那讲故事呢，除了描述分享之外呢，他还教导了孩子呢历史，一个文化的历史习俗，还有善与恶，那还有什么是应该做的事情呢？什么是良善的事情等等。那在这边呢，下一句我们看到 ，After printing technology was developed, people began to have access to books, but ancient oral tradition still remains. 在发明印刷技术之后呢 ，print technology 是指printing technology 印刷。技术印刷的科技在发展之后呢 ，people began to have access to book， 就有机会呢接触到书籍。But ancient oral tradition still remains。那即使是有书面文字、有印刷术，但是呢，这种说故事的 这个传承的传统呢，还是继续保留着。Now, we talk about the use the social media. Now, there are of course very famous social networks like Facebook and Instagram. Have you used any of those?
Yes, I had an Instagram account, but later, due to some privacy issues, I had it canceled. I have a YouTube account and also have a Facebook account, but those are only to be able to stay in contact with students. So if people out there or students out there would like to find me, they might be able to find me on YouTube or on Facebook. And that's the privacy issue has kind of kept me from opening up a Twitter account. Another reason about Twitter, not having a Twitter account is I just think that people are very mean on social media, not like they were before. I mean, sometimes if you have a mean thought, you will, if it's face to face, you would usually just keep that thought inside. But with social media, it's so easy nowadays to just express it and then to another person. And, you know, I just think that part of social media is not very good. How about you? Are you also using social media?
I do, but it's also for the reason for communicating with students, because students use Facebook
Right.
and Line,
Yes.
and they would send messages through those social media networks. So we as teachers kind of have to keep up.
Right.
But I do agree with you that I think on the internet, just because people can't see each other in person, so they say all kinds of things. It's like say things behind somebody's back.
Right.
刚我们有提到就是现在的一个媒体网络哦，那故事很多的有趣的故事，我们可能也在网络上都可以读得到。但是由于社交网络的社群网站发达的结果，那其实很多隐私权的部分，还有在网络上，可能人们就是大家因为看不到对方，所以可能就会有一些恶意的攻击。那这个是网络的当然是一个缺点之一啦。那however, you know, people use electronic media, so it is a good tool. Have you found students like log onto social media websites all the time, and they may not spend so much time studying?
I think it was this kind of thing. It was an issue before with chatting. I remember there was a big issue where I read about MSN Messenger that's already been discontinued before. But I think now it's more about integrating learning into your everyday life. So I think it's not always a problem. Now, like you gave the example, using Facebook or Line because of students, I think in some ways it's much better. That's also one way I keep in touch with students is through Line. And Line, I think, is better than a lot of the others because it's very simple. And you can keep a lot of the things private, that easier than others. So I do think that students are able to separate it, but it's even better that you can just integrate learning into their lives. Yeah.
Exactly. 那现在很多学生会花很多时间在网络上，但是如果能够借由网络来做学习，那就是很棒的。那譬如说观赏华视我们的英文节目啊，在网络上呢也是可以看到的哦。好，我们接下来来看第二段。Let's take a look at the second paragraph.
Okay. Let's read together. Families continue to tell stories about their ancestors. Parents tell stories to young children to teach them about life, to develop their literacy skills, or just to have entertainment. Children are usually more attentive when they are listening to stories. Story time is also beneficial for both parents and children, especially for working parents who are challenged to make time for their children. Story time allows parents to develop bonds with their children because when children cuddle with parents during story time, they develop a closer relationship. Studies show that children who read more when they are young are likely to become more skilled than their peers who read less.
好，我们先来解释第二段。我们请看第一句。Families continue to tell stories about their ancestors. Parents tell stories to young children to teach them about life, to develop literacy skills, or just to have entertainment. 那家族呢，继续以述说的方式，可以谈到过去他们的祖先的故事。父母亲讲故事给孩子听呢，然后教他们生活中的道理，增进他们的阅读能力。那也可以，其实讲故事可以是单纯的视为一种娱乐。Continue 是继续的意思。那 literacy skills 指的是识字阅读的能力。Entertainment 是名词娱乐，那它的动词呢是 entertain。好，我们看下一句。Children are usually more attentive when they are listening to stories. 通常孩子们在听故事的时候呢，会比做其他的事呢来更加的专注。那 attentive 是专注的，它是形容词，那它的名词呢是 attention。Story time is also beneficial for both parents and children, especially for working parents who are challenged to make time for their children. 故事时间呢，其实对父母亲、孩子都是有很大的益处的。Beneficial benefits 是它的名词，是益处，那它形容词 beneficial 有益的。那特别是什么呢？ Working parents 指的是正在上班在职的父母亲。Who are challenged to make time？ 他们受到什么样的挑战？也就是有什么样的困难，要拨时间陪小孩。Making time for their children。好，我们继续看下一句。Story time allows parents to develop bonds with their children because when children cuddle with parents during story time, they develop a closer relationship. 故事时间呢，可以增进父母亲跟孩子的互动连结。孩子们一边听故事，也可以一边的和父母亲依偎在一起，使得呢他们更亲近对方。Bound with children 就是跟小孩联系，做连结。Cuddle with parents 指的是和父母亲拥抱依偎在一起。下一句 ，Studies show that children who read more when they are young are likely to become more skilled than their peers who read less. 读故事有什么样的好处？研究指出呢，小孩子在小的时候读的书越多，会比起他们的同侪呢，在小孩小的时候没有读书呢，更加来的有成就哦。那在这边 become skilled 是变得更加有技能。Skill 其实是名词，是指技能、技巧的意思。那在这边呢，把它当动词用，然后又加了 ed， 又变成形容词，表示是很有能力的。那好，我们看完了这一段 ，Let's take a look at the third paragraph。我们请看第三段 ，Barry please。
Okay. Stories reveal connections between individuals and their world. They provide a glimpse into a better and deeper understanding of the world. For foreign language learners, stories containing a rich variety of vocabulary and complicated sentences offer an important context for comprehension and language development. Children's stories are written in a natural language and thus are authentic reading materials for adult EFL students. Children's stories generally contain a shorter text and easier vocabulary words, which learners are more able to manage. Adult students may not be as overwhelmed by children's stories as by regular novels. Some children's literature contains captivating content and amazing illustrations. They are enjoyed by children as well as adults.
好，我们看看这一段的解释，请看第一句。Stories reveal connections between individuals and their world. 故事呢会把个人跟这个世界呢连接在一起。Reveal 是透露、显示的意思。Connection 是连接，名词，那它的动词呢是 connect。Between something and something 是介于什么和什么之间。Between individuals and their world 是指个人跟他们的世界。下一句 ，They provide a glimpse into a better and deeper understanding of the world。故事呢可以让我们更深入的去窥视、了解这个世界。 Provide 在上一课有提到是提供的意思。Provide a glimpse 是指提供探一探究竟。Better 是 good 的比较级，是更好的。Good, better， 那它的最高级是 best。Deep 深入，它是形容词，那它的比较级呢加 er 就是 deeper， 比较深入的。Next sentence. For foreign language learners, stories containing a rich variety of vocabulary and complicated sentences offer an important context for comprehension and language development. 对学习外语人来说呢，故事其实涵盖了大量的智慧 vocabulary， 复杂的句子就是 complicated sentences。它提供了丰富的文字，可以还有它的上下文的句子呢，可以提升理解能力，就是 comprehension and language development， 还有语言的能力。好，那个接下来看下一句。Children's stories are written in a natural language and thus are authentic reading materials for adult EFL students。童书呢都是以自然的语言书写的，因此把英语呢视作为外语的成人学生来说呢，是以一种原汁原味、非常正宗的一个阅读的来源，而并不是刻意为了学英文而写的教科书的那种语言。natural language or authentic language 是真正日常生活中当地人英语人士他们所使用的语言呢，而不是非常刻意为了学习所撰写的语言。那刚刚有提到 EFL。EFL 就是 English as a foreign language， 可能也有听过 ESL， 就是 English as a second language。那在台湾的环境来说呢，大部分学习英文呢是为外语，所以是一种 EFL 的情境。那我们来看下一句，Children's stories generally contain shorter text and easier vocabulary. So adult students, learners are more able to manage, and adult students may not be as overwhelmed by children's stories as by regular novels. 那因为是童书的关系，所以它通常文字比较短，也用字比较浅显一点，对学习者来讲是比较容易学习的。Shorter text, easier vocabulary words 是比较短的文章，比较简单的智慧。Be more able to manage 就是更容易能够掌握、掌控，就是 manage。那 manage 可以当管理的意思。Not as 什么什么什么 as 是较不如什么 ，not as overwhelmed by children's stories as regular novels， 就是阅读童书呢，比较不像要读一般小说呢，让人家更容易觉得困难挫折哦。那一般就是大一点孩子看小说呢，可能觉得困难重重，可是看童书就不会有这么大的压力了。Next sentence: Some children's literature contains captivating content and amazing illustrations. They're enjoyed by children as well as adults. 有些儿童文学的文字呢，相当引人入胜，它的插画呢也非常的精美绝伦，所以不论是大人小孩，其实都可以乐在其中。Captivating 是吸引人。content 是指内容的意思 ，amazing illustration 指的是令人惊艳的插图，插图是 illustration。在故事读本里面，除了 author 以外，有时候会看到 illustrator， 指的就是这本书的绘者或者是插画家。Now, Barry, we talk about stories, and it may be useful for foreign language learners. Do you think reading children's book can actually increase or improve students' English ability?
Oh, absolutely. I think that a lot of research that's been done shows that reading can be an effective way to improve one's vocabulary. Also, has shown that extensive reading can be helpful in learning other parts of language as well. So I think that yes, it's very good, like for learning collocations, phrases, or even grammar. Maybe not directly, but you just kind of will pick it up through your reading. And even first language, you learn a lot about your first language just through reading without being directly taught how to you know, put words together for writing or something like that. It's just you pick it up sometimes, so it's helpful.
That's right. Well, picking up a language is much easier than making effort to have to learn it.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's the best, it's the only way or just by reading, but it's enjoyable. You know, to read is enjoyable, and you can pick up some language, so why not take part in it, you know?
Exactly. 刚刚雷博士呢有建议呢，其实大量的阅读对增进英语能力是相当好的，因为从阅读当中不但可以学到智慧，还可以学到智慧前后文的一个用法，而且呢不用太费力去学习，因为从阅读当中呢自然而然就会吸收到很多的单字跟句型跟片语的一些用法。Now, let's take a look at the vocabulary and sentence phrases from this unit. Could you read the vocabulary and sentences for us?
Sure, I'd be glad to. Okay. Civilization.
那名词文明国家。
The discovery and the use of fire had a great influence on the development of human civilization.
火的发明对和运用对人类发展文明影响甚巨。
Oral.
形容词口头的。
Some English proficiency tests have included an oral test component to reflect students' communicative ability.
有些英语能力的测验呢，已经纳入口语测验来反映学生的口语能力。
Medium.
名词手段或者是工具，常常跟 of 一起用。
English, Mandarin Chinese, and Malay are mediums of communication in Singapore.
在新加坡呢，是一个多语的国家啊，它使用英语、华语、马来语都可以用来沟通。
Tradition.
传统思想。
Traditional.
形容词。
Traditions differ from country to country.
每一个国家的传统呢都不太一样。
Generation.
是世代的意思。
The new generation grew up with digital technology.
新生代呢出生于电子科技的年代。
Ancient.
形容词古代的。
Feng Shui is an ancient belief that there are energies created by the configuration of the room.
风水呢是古代相传对房屋摆设产生能量的一种概念。
Preserve.
动词保护维护。
The country has taken effective measures to preserve our natural resources.
这个国家呢已采取了有效的措施来保护自然资源。
Develop.
动词发展成长。
A manager needs to develop an ability to listen to his or her employees.
经理人需要发展聆听部属的一个能力。
Access.
动词接近、进入、有机会使用。
Only the staff has access to this meeting room.
只有员工才能进入这个会议厅。
The government guarantees that children in rural areas also have access to computers and the internet.
政府呢保证居住在乡村的孩童也有机会使用电脑跟网络。
Remain.
动词剩下、余留。
Only a few leaves remain on the trees in winter.
冬天的时候，只有少许几片的叶子留在树上。
Ancestor.
名词祖先、祖宗。
The general had noble ancestors.
这位将军出生于名门。
Literacy.
名词识字、读写能力。
In old times, many women did not have an opportunity to go to school, so they had poor literacy skills.
许久以前呢，许多妇女没有机会上学，所以她们比较缺乏识字阅读的能力。
Attentive.
形容词注意的、留意的。
The students are very attentive to the guest speaker.
学生呢非常留意贵宾讲者的一个演讲。This is all the time we have for today. Larry, it's wonderful having you here.
Well, I really enjoyed myself today. Thanks again for having me. Invite me back anytime.
Sure. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Bye.